Hello, family. How y'all doing? I'm telling you, every time I add a background, it just messes up. Every time. All right. So we're gonna hope for the best. We're gonna hope for the best. So it just aggravates me. So every time I add it, it just always messes up. So let me take it out. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let's get this off. There we go. All right. So we're back in the same setting. All right. So hello everybody. How you doing out there, family? Awesome. So this is episode number 73. Let's get to it. All right, episode number 73. Why is nurse staffing important? All right, and I'm putting the 15 minutes on the clock. That's done. All right, I'm your CEO, Alisa Applewhite, your CEO 3 times. The real Alisa Applewhite. So sorry, y'all. Let's get to the banners. Y'all know I come on every day at 12. You can find me here, right? Either live or recording, but you can find me here every day at 12. So, this question: why do I go live Monday through Friday? All right, y'all. So I go live Monday through Friday because I get questions, DMs, text messages, calls, people asking me questions about healthcare staffing, people asking me questions about business, family, anything, being married, right? So I decided to go live Monday through Friday where I answer your questions. So every day at 12 o'clock, Monday through Friday, you can catch me live here answering your questions. And on Saturdays and Sundays, you'll catch a pre recording. But keep asking your questions because the more questions you ask, the more I can answer them. And I normally give you 3 tips on what I believe will answer your question effectively. All right, so keep sending them because I love answering and I hope that I can help you grow as a person. And let's get to this one. Why do they call you CEO 3 times? Love this question, y'all, because I have 3 companies, right? So the first company is called Top of the Line Healthcare Staffing, where we staff medical professionals in hospitals, doctors' offices, and nursing homes so we can make sure they are taking care of patients, right? Then we have TOTLHS Hard to Go Inc. This is our nonprofit. This is the baby we are going to grow to the max, right? So this baby helps medical professionals with rental assistance, mortgage down payment assistance, car payment assistance, credit education, financial literacy, scholarships to go back to school, right? So it helps the holistic medical professionals so we can take care of them so they can take care of our patients, right? Everybody needs a little bit of assistance. And gotta go back. So the TOTLHS Hard to Go Inc. was inspired by the Hard to Go Gala, which is an event that we hold for medical professionals where we celebrate them and they get a chance to have the spotlight on them and they get to tell a story. That's so, so important, y'all. Tell your story. All right, and then the company number 3 is The Real Alisa Applewhite Consulting. This has brought you questions and answers live with your CEO 3 times, Alisa Applewhite. And it also has brought you the podcast, Beyond the Scrubs podcast, where we take everyday people like you and we listen to your story as a patient, and then we take medical professionals and we listen to their stories as patients as well. So I'm really, really excited about that. We also help everyday people like you to start a staffing agency from scratch to government. And then we help medical professionals to be the best medical professional they can potentially be. We partner with hospitals and nursing homes to show them on how to retain their staff. All right, so this is question number 73, y'all. 73 lives. Like this is it's getting amazing. I think when 100 come, I'm gonna do some more Welchers. I might do some Welchers again, y'all. So if y'all seen that 50th episode, I believe, or our anniversary episode, we did a Welch's grape juice. Okay. All right. So 73. Why is nursing staff? Why is nurse staffing important? All right, we got 11 minutes on the clock. I'm gonna give you 3 things why I think nurse staffing is important. Right. So why is nurse staffing important? Because it has better patient outcomes, right? So statistics have proven year after year. They do a study, y'all. And I can't think of who does the study, but you can look it up. It's a nursing study. Well, it's a medical professional trust study. So they do a study each year that shows, it points out all of the medical professionals that a patient has like daily access to. And it says in there, hey, which one do you trust the most? And y'all, year after year, year after year after year, nobody has beat nurses. Not one other profession has beat nurses, meaning nurses are the number one trusted medical professional in the medical industry. What does this mean for healthcare staffing owners? It means, okay, I'm going to say this again a little bit slow. Nurses are the number one trusted medical professionals in the healthcare staffing industry, period. Year after year. The study's been done for like 15 years or so, where every year nurses are the number one trusted healthcare medical professionals in the healthcare industry. So what does that mean for staffing owners? That means that if you are going to staff in healthcare, you need to at minimum staff nurses. Why? Because that is the greatest need, right? A hospital or facility is going to want a nurse to keep building that relationship with that patient, so that patient will want to pick that specific that facility over the other facilities, right? So yes, nurses are the ones that pretty much keep the patients happy. And I think it's because we have so much access to the patient. We are consistently with the patient, right? No harm to our CNAs or our doctors, but I'm just saying they did a survey, and they do a survey across the United States, right? And it proves year after year that nurses are the most trusted medical professionals. I'm gonna keep saying that because I feel honored. Medical professionals in the healthcare staffing industry. So why is nurse staffing important? Because you have better patient outcomes, because the patient trusts the nurse better, not better, they trust them more than any other medical professional. So they're more likely to tell the truth. Hey, I had this bump or bruise in my breast for a week, and I had it because I fell or the dog bit me or whatever the case may be, right? But they're more likely to tell the truth with nurses because they trust them more. So this is why it's very, very important as a healthcare staffing owner, period, to staff nurses. This is why it's a requirement in hospitals and nursing homes to have specific RNs or a specific number of LPNs in the building operating a certain number of patients. So that's a requirement. You can't even operate a building without a nurse. Sorry, but you can't. Not in the United States, right? So this is why it's so important to staffing nurses, because you have a better patient outcome. So if your patient tells your nurse or your nurse more stuff than they normally would tell the doctor or CNA, then the patient's outcomes are more likely to be addressed, right? The nurse can be more of an advocate for the patient. We can see, okay, that patient's like, every time I take this pill, I get a rash right here under my arms. Well, that can be an allergic reaction that you haven't, but now because you have that personal relationship with that nurse, right, we can prevent that from happening to you again. So number 2 is, why is nurse staffing important? And it's regulated by state laws. So I just said that, y'all. I don't know if most people know this, but this is very important for healthcare staffing owners to know, that the majority of the facilities that you feel, all of the facilities that you feel in any state, is regulated by some state laws that say, based on the patient outcomes. If you have 50 patients, you have to have at least one. And I'm not saying this is the state law. I'm just giving an example. If you have 50 patients in the building that you are claiming that you're the owner and you're taking care of those patients, for every 50 patients, you got to have one registered nurse, right? For every 50 patients, you got to have one LPN, right? So I do know this, in order to operate a building, especially a nursing home, you have to have a RN present or on duty. And I do that because there's a lot of buildings you walk in and there's no RN on duty. but because they say, oh, the DON is the RN and she's on call, she's not far, she can always come to the building, and she's not actively in the building, they'll let the LPN have the whole building by themselves, and they literally be in charge. And that's illegal, but they do it all the time. It's sad, but they do it all the time. So a RN is supposed to be in a building. If the state walks in, they're supposed to be able to locate that person, I think within 15 minutes or something like that, is a specific time, before the state can get cited or shut down for not having the proper supervision in the building, right? And hospitals have a regulation as well. They have to have a certain number of nurses per patients that they take, right? So when you go into hospitals, it's different because in long-term care centers, these patients, they have long-term diseases or disorders, right? Or problems that they just need somebody to monitor them, right? They don't need a heart monitor on. They don't need IVs flowing, 24 hours with multiple changes. They just need somebody to monitor them and make sure they're getting the care that they're supposed to legally get, right? And I think humanely get as a person, right? But the thing about that is in the hospital, you have what we call acuity levels. So based on the acuity level of the patient, they'll say, okay, we did runs, we did practices, and based on the acuity of a med surg typical floor, you can have anywhere between 5 to 10 patients or 5 to 7 patients, right? You're just like 5 to 7 people, that's a lot. Yes, it is a lot, depending on what type of patient you give you, right? So based on the acuity levels, you can get a patient that is walking around, which we call our walkie-talkie, right? And some people, they do their acuity scores different. One can be they need the most attention, and 4 can be they need the least attention, right? Or some places I work, they switch the acuity level around. In some states I work, especially the Western states, where 1 means, hey, they're easy, they're good to go, they're walkie-talkie, and 4 means they need more extensive care. So you got to look at the acuity levels based on the facility that you are working in, because this is very important. So you can know, hey, if I'm working on a med surg floor, and if they say in this building that acuity number 1s mean that person needs respiratory distress now, they need me to stay monitoring them every 5 to 10 minutes, and you have all your patients are number 1 and 7, then you're going to hurt somebody's life, right? So it's very, very important that you as a medical professional stand up for yourself and know your limitations, because at the end of the day, y'all, we here taking care of people. And I can't express that enough. Like, you can't take care of people like you take care of objects. These are people with dreams, visions, goals, breath in their body, and they're moving, right? They have family who love them. Some people don't have family who love them, but they're still a child of God. You have to take care of these people. So make sure you are taking care of these people effectively, right? And make sure you're standing up for them. But because y'all know I be going on my rants. So say, Alisa, come back. Stop going on a rant. All right. So regulated by state laws. Why is nurse staffing important? It is important to have nurses in the building because this is regulation by state law. So make sure you find out your state law regulation. And I already said it. Number 3, the most trusted medical professional. So nurses are the most trusted medical professionals. They have done surveys and studies years after years after years, and patients trust us the most because we spend the most time with them. I think I'm just being biased here, right? I think we spend the most time with them, and because we also have access to pain medication. I said it, right? Let me trust this nurse and be good with this nurse, because when I need this pain medication, she's going to bring it, or he's going to bring it on time, right? So let's go over this. We got 1 minute and 43 seconds. Why is nurse staffing important? Number 1, better patient outcomes. Number 2, regulated by state laws. And number 3, the most trusted medical professional. Yes, nurses, all stand up and be proud of what you do. You're trusted. All right, so I want to make sure you're following me on all social media platforms, right? So it's the real Alisa Applewhite. Y'all follow me on all social media platforms at The Real Alisa Applewhite. Make sure you go like my YouTube channel. Go subscribe to it. Go like the videos, y'all. We growing. I'm still asking for my subscribers. I'm still in your DMs. I am still texting you. Like, go and let's grow this channel. All right. So make sure you also go to like my page on Facebook, The Real Alisa Applewhite. Thank y'all for everybody who's been subscribing, who's been watching. I'm very, very happy about people getting educated, right? We got to break this. We got to educate people. All right, y'all. So how I always end it is I absolutely love you, right? I don't even know half the people here. Let's see who joined me on Instagram. All right. So I absolutely love you. I don't know half the people here, but I want you to know that I love you. And I'm so glad that you chose to be with me today. You can catch me here tomorrow at 12 o'clock when we go live and we answer another question. So make sure you ask your question so we can answer it and get it on the questions, right? Because I want to help you to grow and be a better person. Now, I absolutely love you and I don't know you, but I'm telling you, the way God loves you is so unexplainable. Like, no man alive can explain the true love that God has for you. So go build a relationship with your creator, y'all, right? And go have the best life that you potentially have. You are breathing, you're living. So right now, at this moment, I want you to go and execute and go live the best life that you could potentially live. But until tomorrow, y'all, see you later. Bye-bye. Alisa Applewhite, your CEO 3 times. This is going to be a millionaire mindset. Tip number 1, your new friends' conversation should make your old friends uncomfortable or intrigued. Let that sink in.